Natasha Lyonne is finally breaking her silence after reports surfaced claiming she was escorted off a flight, and what initially seemed like a minor incident has now exploded into one of the most talked about celebrity controversies of the moment. What started as a vague rumor circulating across social media platforms has now evolved into a full-blown headline dominating entertainment news cycles, with fans demanding clarity, critics jumping to conclusions, and insiders scrambling to piece together what really happened. But now, Lyonne herself is stepping in to set the record straight. The alleged incident reportedly took place earlier this week, shortly after a high-profile Hollywood event, when multiple eyewitness accounts began appearing online almost simultaneously. Passengers claimed that the Russian doll star was removed from a commercial flight under unclear and somewhat confusing circumstances. According to those early reports, there was a noticeable tension on board, with flight attendants reportedly engaging in repeated interactions with a passenger later identified by some as Natasha Lyonne. Some witnesses described the situation as uncomfortable, while others insisted it seemed routine but was being misinterpreted in real time. As more details trickled in, the narrative started to take shape, but not necessarily in a reliable way. Some accounts suggested that Lyonne had failed to comply with standard airline safety instructions, including fastening her seatbelt or stowing electronic devices. Others claimed she appeared unresponsive at certain moments, allegedly sitting quietly behind sunglasses, which led crew members to check on her multiple times. These details, however, varied widely depending on who was telling the story, and none of them were officially confirmed in those early hours. And that's when the internet did what it does best: amplify uncertainty into certainty. Within hours, hashtags began trending, clips and posts were being shared out of context, and speculation reached a fever pitch. Some users painted the situation as a case of disruptive celebrity behavior, while others pushed back, arguing that the story felt exaggerated and lacked credible evidence. Without any direct statement from Lyonne or the airline, the vacuum of information was quickly filled with assumptions, hot takes, and a wave of viral gossip. But now, Natasha Lyonne has responded, and her version of events shifts the tone of the entire conversation. In a statement shared through her representatives and referenced across multiple entertainment outlets, Lyonne reportedly clarified that she was not escorted off in the dramatic, chaotic sense that many headlines implied. Instead, she described the situation as a misunderstanding that escalated far beyond what it actually was. According to her explanation, the issue stemmed from confusion during boarding and in-flight procedures, possibly involving seat arrangements or timing of compliance with crew instructions. She emphasized clearly that there was no confrontation, no disruptive outburst, and absolutely no inappropriate behavior on her part. Those close to Lyonne have also stepped forward to support her account, describing the situation as overblown and sensationalized. One insider noted that she remained composed and cooperative throughout the entire process, adding that she followed instructions and did not resist when asked to deplane. Another source suggested that the situation may have been influenced by miscommunication rather than misconduct, something that can easily happen in a fast-paced, high-pressure environment like a commercial flight. What makes this story even more compelling is how quickly public perception began to shift once Lyonne's response entered the conversation. In the beginning, curiosity and skepticism dominated online discussions, but now a growing number of fans are rallying behind her, pointing to her long-standing reputation as someone who is outspoken yet grounded, edgy yet professional. Social media has seen an influx of supportive messages, with fans calling out what they believe is yet another example of a celebrity being judged before all the facts are known. At the same time, the lack of a detailed statement from the airline continues to leave gaps in the story. There has been no widely released incident report, no official clarification of what triggered the decision to remove a passenger, and no confirmation of the specific events that unfolded on board. This silence has allowed the story to remain open-ended, with multiple interpretations continuing to circulate. Adding even more context to the situation is Lyonne's recent public openness about her personal journey. Not long before this incident, she had spoken candidly about facing challenges in her sobriety, a revelation that sparked both concern and admiration from fans. While there is no confirmed connection between that and the flight incident, it has inevitably become part of the broader conversation, with some questioning whether the public is too quick to link personal struggles with unrelated situations. At her core, Natasha Lyonne has always been a unique force in Hollywood. From her early breakout in American Pie to her critically acclaimed Emmy-nominated work in Russian Doll, she has built a career on authenticity, resilience, and a refusal to fit into conventional molds. That's exactly why this story feels so unexpected to many. It doesn't neatly align with the image audiences have come to associate with her. And yet, her response feels entirely consistent with who she is. It's direct, it's measured, and it avoids unnecessary dramatics. She didn't attempt to turn the narrative into something else, nor did she lean into the controversy for attention. Instead, she addressed it head-on, clarified her perspective, and allowed the facts, or lack thereof, to speak for themselves. This entire situation serves as a powerful reminder of how quickly narratives can spiral in the digital age. A few fragmented eyewitness accounts, a handful of viral posts, and suddenly a global headline is born. By the time the truth begins to emerge, the initial version of the story has already reached millions of people. Lyonne's experience highlights just how fragile the line is between reality and perception in today's media landscape. For now, the situation appears to have settled on the surface. Lyonne has already returned to public appearances, showing no visible disruption beyond the headlines themselves. Her professional commitments continue, and there's no indication of any formal consequences stemming from the incident. But the conversation it sparked is far from over. Fans, critics, and media outlets alike are still dissecting every detail, trying to determine where the truth lies between conflicting accounts. Ultimately, this may end up being remembered not for what actually happened on that flight, but for how quickly the story escalated and how difficult it is to contain a narrative once it takes off. Whether it was a simple misunderstanding or a moment that was misinterpreted and magnified, one thing is clear: Natasha Lyonne is not allowing this to define her. And if there's anything her career has proven, it's that she knows how to navigate chaos, reclaim her narrative, and keep moving forward on her own terms. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.